Hello everyone. While preparing this episode, I reviewed several thousand publications on testosterone. This is the hardest episode among all the ones I've made in terms of time spent. I've highlighted the most reliable and trustworthy ways to increase the main male hormone. First, we'll talk about basic methods that can increase it by 20 to 50%, and then we'll cover advanced options with a boost of 50 to 200%. I recommend taking notes.
What does testosterone do? Testosterone is what you secrete when your status is being challenged, and it makes it more likely that you'll do the behaviors needed to hold on to your status.
One of the best ways to boost the main male hormone is through facing challenges, competition, and the desire to surpass someone or something. Since testosterone is linked to dopamine and motivation, many people associate this with sports. Yes, indeed, if you engage in martial arts without severe injuries, concussions, or torn ligaments, you get both exercise, weight loss, confidence boost, and psychological relief, all of which will positively affect testosterone. But this point needs to be looked at more broadly. Essentially, it's about courage, about not being afraid to open new horizons, not fearing difficulties, and solving them step by step, being ready for the fact that it might be hard. It's about seeing your life as a competition, where the main goal is to outdo yourself. Sometimes allowing yourself breaks to recharge, figure out what you want, and gather strength. The problem is that our behavior depends on the levels of our neurotransmitters and hormones. Lower levels of testosterone are associated with anxiety, depression, and poor health. This creates a vicious circle. Low testosterone leads to low motivation, high anxiety, and bad health, while lack of motivation and fear kill any desire for achievement or change. It makes sense that testosterone won't have a reason to rise. This situation also happens with diagnosed depression. If a person has this condition, the words "just pull yourself together" won't help. It's like trying to convince someone to pay attention after 2 days of sleeplessness. Ideally, a doctor will prescribe some antidepressant, and after a couple of weeks, when serotonin starts to rise, they'll bring in psychotherapy and encourage the person to pull themselves together. Eventually, the person returns to normal. In our context, one could either increase motivation and reduce anxiety, but we'll talk about that in other videos, or increase testosterone so that later the man will be able and willing to make changes in his life on his own. Base level. At the basic level, I'll assume that in the first phase, the increase will be 20 to 50%, depending on how bad the current situation is. The normal range of testosterone for men is shown on the screen, using different units of measurement. Today, we'll talk about how to help your body produce more of the main male hormone. Testosterone injections can obviously increase it, even up to 10 times, but they will shut down your own production entirely. One injection every 2 weeks results in a testosterone level of 25 to 30 nanomoles. In sports, however, these injections are administered every 2 to 3 days. This way, testosterone is several times higher than the normal level, but there are many factors that need to be monitored. Otherwise, things could go wrong.
8 months ago, Bob's testicles were removed, then hormone therapy. He developed bitch tits because his testosterone was too high and his body upped the estrogen.
Body mass index, BMI, and testosterone levels are indeed strongly correlated, as shown by data from large meta-analyses. For example, if your BMI is 28, reducing it to 22 could result in a 20 to 30% increase in testosterone levels. If your BMI is 26, the increase might be around 15%. For instance, with a height of 180 centimeters and a weight of 84 kilograms, your BMI would be approximately 26. However, it's important to note that there are nuances. One man may have a good muscle mass with a low body fat percentage, while another might have little muscle and a lot of fat. Nonetheless, this general rule holds true, and it is also supported in adolescents. In a study involving about 1,000 adolescents with obesity and normal weight, differences in testosterone levels were observed. Doctors were concerned that this might cause issues with the development of secondary sexual characteristics, as testosterone plays a crucial role in normal male development. Indeed, in adolescents with obesity, the size of the sexual organs was 10% smaller than in those with normal weight. It's also important to emphasize that maintaining a normal body fat percentage is crucial at any age, as this affects not just motivation, muscle mass, or sexual function, but also the fundamental sexual differences between men and women.
I'm a 30-year-old boy.
We're a generation of men raised by women. I'm wondering if another woman is really the answer we need.
As for sleep, nutrition, and exercise, they all positively affect hormones in both men and women. I came across the following legendary workout plan from the depths of the internet. As you can see, it includes various exercises. I cannot vouch for its accuracy, but it looks convincing. Practically any moderate or high-intensity physical activity can be considered beneficial for boosting testosterone. There are some nuances regarding exercise technique and frequency, but it's not worth nitpicking. Walking alone can help. If a man walks more than 12,000 steps a day, his testosterone levels will be about 50% higher than someone who walks less than 4,000.
Rule number 1 for surviving Zombieland: cardio.
Okay, we've covered weight, sports, overcoming challenges, and sleep. Now let's focus on 2 supplements. Zinc. Zinc deficiency occurs in 15 to 50% of cases worldwide, depending on the country. Between deficiency and normal levels, there is also an insufficient level, so more than half of people around the world don't get enough zinc. Zinc concentration affects testosterone levels. In one study, the sample size was small, but after 6 months of zinc supplementation in elderly men with a slight zinc deficiency, their testosterone levels increased from 8 nanomoles per liter to 16 nanomoles, which is roughly the level of a 45-year-old man. Just one supplement reversed hormonal level by 20 years. Not bad. Adaptogens are a group of supplements that enhance the body's ability to adapt to unfavorable conditions. In short, these are substances that help you handle intense physical exertion, high-altitude environments, psychological stress, or limited oxygen and food intake, making stress a familiar and even enjoyable experience.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Before we move on to the advanced level, let me mention a few other supplements. I'd really like to highlight one best of the best, but after reviewing a lot of data, you inevitably come across contradictions. Still, some supplements deserve mention. Ashwagandha. There are no fantastic results, about a 10 to 20% increase in testosterone levels. Here's a study comparing how hormones change in men and women when taking ashwagandha or a placebo. The stress hormone cortisol decreases in both men and women. Testosterone increased only in the male group. Keep in mind, this is an average result. In another study, 25 men received a placebo, and 25 took ashwagandha. As you can see, the increase was about 15%. It's a small boost, but still nice. Similar effects on testosterone are also observed with Fenugreek, Eurycoma, dhea, Tribulus, and Mucuna. The body is a complex thing. Specifically for you, ashwagandha or Tribulus may work better than ashwagandha simply because they activate the mechanism that isn't functioning well for you, but works well for others. So, if weight loss, overcoming challenges, vitamins Leuzea and zinc are not enough, and you want to take more, but not as strong supplements as the ones coming up, try testing 2 or 3 supplements from this list. As you can imagine, there's a lot of data. Around the 5th or 6th day of reviewing publications about testosterone, I caught myself realizing I was just reading everything. I want you to know too, Hyraxes with high testosterone levels snort more sharply than males with low testosterone. By the way, this is what Hyraxes look like. Okay, we've covered the basic level. Initially, I planned to make one big video, but it would have been too long. In the next episode, we'll dive into the advanced level, which can boost testosterone levels by +50 to 200%. See you in the next episode.